What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen it in the title. What's going down? Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody that's tuning in, watching these videos, and honestly seeing what's going on. Wasn't going to post a video today. I'm not even gonna lie, but I definitely had to get y'all, obviously more information, more updates, and I try to do it daily. And I seen a couple of videos that I want to check out. So
a teen accused of a brutal, deadly stabbing at a Texas track meet is back in the headlines. This time not for violence, but for graduation. Karmelo Anthony, just 17, is charged with first-degree murder after allegedly plunging a knife into another teen's chest, fellow athlete Austin Metcalf, who died in his twin brother's arms. Despite being expelled, Anthony's school district reversed course. He won't walk the stage, but they will let him graduate. The decision follows a firestorm of backlash.
Karmelo.
Wait, hold on.
School district reversed course. He won't walk the stage, but they will let him graduate. The decision follows a firestorm of backlash.
Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
A press conference turned chaotic. The victim's father confronted the accused family, and now nearly $530,000 raised in donations for Anthony. Out on bail.
And the crazy thing is more and more each day.
Under house arrest and no longer living in his gated neighborhood. Karmelo Anthony remains a free man, but with graduation day looming, questions of justice, privilege, and race still divide this Texas community.
When I tell y'all that it honestly gets crazier and crazier. It's like something new comes out every day about this. Whether if it's a family friend, whether it's somebody that's known of Karmelo or Austin, a parent, the parents of Austin Metcalf. It's something new that's jumping out every single day. But y'all do see here, this is literally, I think I showed y'all this a couple days ago too as well. But it says Austin Metcalf's Karmelo Anthony. You can't say the word. Karmelo Anthony will be allowed to graduate Centennial High School despite his, the first degree charge, which is pretty insane. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of people are pretty outraged about it. It says Karmelo Anthony will now be allowed to graduate from Centennial High School despite facing a pending charge. Not only that, but was expelled, from that school. This outcome follows strong community support, public outcry, and legal pressure, including a formal objection from the American Freedmen Legal Fund sent to Frisco ISD, challenging an attempt to expel him before any conviction. So you had that post here first, and then going back, Sarah Fields, obviously had this post, and it read, "I'm encouraging parents to remove your children from Frisco ISD. If you would like pointers from homeschooling, message me. I can help. Enough is enough," which like I said before, I absolutely agree when it comes to, if y'all got, children there. Because if y'all can see, honestly, of how messed up things are, within this case, and seeing what Karmelo did and seeing how Frisco ISD is treating it, I definitely wouldn't allow, and I wouldn't want my children at that, in that school, honestly, not even the schools, says that Frisco ISD can be bullied by BLM activists and to allow Karmelo to be rewarded for bringing a weapon to school on the school campus and committing to unalive Austin Metcalf after he was expelled. They can be bullied into anything. They are not concerned for your children's safety. They only care about their own self-preservation, and their paycheck. So when I tell y'all, I honestly agree 100%. What she's saying, what Sarah Fields is saying, I absolutely do. I'm not even gonna lie. This here is Karmelo Anthony's, another spokesperson. No. This is Karmelo Anthony's spokesperson. So this is Dominique. This is about Dominique Alexander. Dominique Alexander is closely tied with a Cori Bush. So this is Cori Bush. I'm sorry. Y'all know Dominique Alexander, the spokesperson, the advocate, for Karmelo Anthony. Supposedly this is a person that he is closely tied with, which is a Corey Bush. What I will be, and I'm sure other people will definitely be digging into more about, this Corey Bush, which I'm pretty sure I have before. Some small though, and said is a far left defund the police activist. So I find it very odd on, who support, and honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I can't say that I'm surprised about it. That's the thing. I really cannot say that I'm surprised about it, just based off of the fact of, who's supporting Karmelo, the message that has been sent when it comes to that Give, Send, Go, things that's on X, things that's people that's in my comments. I mean, so I can't really say that I am surprised, but I do find it very weird about this company, with Dominique Alexander and supposedly with this Corey Bush. If y'all don't know who Dominique Alexander is, which I'm sure many of you do know, this is the advocate for Carmelo Anthony, and this is his rap sheet. As y'all can see, this is multiple mugshots. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 mugshots right here. And the most recent one is at the bottom. Y'all can find this again at Sarah Field. Sarah Field has a lot of information, I tell you. But y'all see here, it says felony injury to a child, forging a check in 2009, falsely claiming the star was stolen, offensive physical contact, that was in 2015, 2019, misdemeanor assault, violence against family in 2019, felony assault causing serious bodily injury in 2019. So this dude, honestly, is trying to push, and I'm pretty sure I played a video. I played a video not too long ago about they were doing a protest, about women, domestic violence, this, that, and the other, and he literally went and had a charge, with that. So when I tell y'all that it's pretty wild, honestly, and I do have to say, definitely, Carmelo parents ought to be ashamed of themselves. These people wouldn't even be around, I'm telling y'all. And let alone, let me start off by saying this. One thing about it, like I say all the time, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it and keep saying it. For the people that ain't heard it, to the people that go against me, I honestly feel like, and this is me, honest. This should have been more of, okay, boom, we about to set an example, of what Carmelo shouldn't, what he shouldn't have done. That's how I look at it. Shouldn't have done this. So let's set the example. Let's do this right. But how they going about it, how things are, I'm telling y'all, it's definitely dusty. Definitely. But y'all have it here. This is, again, Sarah Fields. On April 17th, Megan Metcalf, the mother of Austin Metcalf, emailed Frisco ISD begging them not to allow Carmelo Anthony to graduate. Her email is heartbreaking to read. I'm pretty sure I read a little bit, but literally just explaining to the board members who, she is. Basically explaining, y'all, like I said, y'all can find it. Sarah Fields said, I've been informed. The civil rights team that the person has behind him are reaching out to you requesting he be able to graduate. I don't know much about your stance on protests, etc., but I would like to urge you to make sure that you do not change your mind on this ruling, that the boy is expelled, and it says and it stays that way. My son Austin will never, all caps, be able to graduate. This person will have opportunity to get his GED at a later time. Because he's still living, and I feel like that is the most realist thing that you can possibly say. It definitely is. I feel like that shouldn't, obviously. I feel like it's more so like a slap in the face too. Like, if you want to be real about it, I feel like it's a slap in the face just based off of, okay, he gets to graduate, and get his diploma and everything. It's like, and the crazy thing is, the sad thing about it is that I have a feeling. I have a really strong feeling it's not going to go the way that it's going. Because just think about it. We talk about the cars. We talk about the merch that that's been sold. We talk about the house. We talk about over 540,000 that they've raised. We talk about all this stuff of how well it's going for him. And I'm not gonna say that it's not going well for Megan Metcalf, for Jeff, for Hunter. and the rest of, Austin Metcalf's family, because I'm gonna show you a few things. But then again, at the end of the day, when it comes to money, when it comes to, the cars, the houses, things like that, sadly, it's nothing that can bring them back. It definitely is. So her saying that he have opportunity to get his GED, I mean, that's the realest thing you can say. I mean, it's absolutely true. I mean, he will have that, and I feel like, honestly, it's definitely sad that they're pushing everything. It's like, ha ha ha, we in your face and we laughing, and I feel like that's just dirty. I definitely feel like that's dirty. I don't know. I feel like obviously people disagree with me, but that's just my opinion on it. I feel like it's dirty. But y'all have it here. Like I said before, it took, I'm pretty sure, almost a month before they even responded. Megan Metcalf had sent this April 17th, and then they finally responded May 13th. Oh, no. I said that wrong. Megan responded, or not responded, sent another message May 13th, so almost a month in, and saying, why is there no response? Someone needs to respond to me. This is unacceptable. And then they finally responded on May 13th, what I found completely weird. Literally like an hour and a half after she said, why aren't y'all responding to me? It literally took them almost a month. But all of a sudden, and I found it completely insane. But literally have it here. I feel like it's definitely pretty cool. This is Hunter with, I'm pretty sure, coach with Georgetown. Coach of Georgetown. So definitely pretty lit. I showed y'all yesterday or the day before. Yesterday, the day before. It was a post about Hunter and, the powder puff for, the girls. I know a lot of people probably don't know what that is. I'm pretty sure it's like around prom, around homecoming time or something like that. They have girls play the little flag football. We did that in high school, but it's been so long. This is literally the football coach in Navy Hunter's meeting with. So I think it's definitely pretty cool. And I feel like it's definitely going to be, some great opportunities. His brother is definitely watching over him. And I feel like it's definitely pretty lit. Then you have here, this is the top prospects for Frisco. Literally having Hunter Metcalf Memorial as, a linebacker, a top linebacker prospect. So definitely great things. But like I said, it definitely is sad, for him not to have his twin brother, rocking with him, playing football, what they love. Then you have here, this is, I think I seen this earlier on the honor roll. Austin Metcalf up here, a honor roll at that. So I think it's definitely pretty wild. How all of this, how all this happened. It's definitely sad. It's definitely sad. But you literally have here Megan Metcalf reposting Sarah Fields, and what went on. But y'all have it to got it right here. Jason Whitlock. Saying that he's talked to people that knew the families of both Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony. Let's check this out.
Again, I talked to someone that knew the victim and the perpetrator, and the understanding in the community is that Karmelo Anthony and several of his friends were heavily influenced by hip-hop. By Karmelo Anthony and several of his friends were heavily influenced by hip-hop.
Okay.
By I want to say this factually or fairly, the whole Percocet deal that a lot of these rappers love to rap about and love to brag about, getting girls on Percocet, themselves being on Percocet, and that if they're alleging to me or messaging to me that if you look at some of the friends that Karmelo Anthony had, one in particular, a kid named Jahan Izzle Sheffield, who was arrested last February, I believe, on drug charges. I was able to Google this information and see the kid's mugshot. see that the mugshot was around early February of 2024, and I'm being told this was like a friend of Carmelo Anthony, and that these kids were kind of notorious for being suburban kids that wanted to live out their rap music fantasy, their hip hop fantasy.
And one thing about that is it is absolutely true. I definitely agree with him because, and don't get me wrong, like I listen to hip hop, I listen to country, I listen to a lot of Morgan. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I listen to him a lot more. I listen to more. I listen to a few people. It's different. Y'all gotta think. I left before doing these videos. If y'all didn't know, if y'all new to my channel, I've always reacted to music. Different. I'm talking about. It's so much music that I've reacted to. I think I have over like 2,500 reaction videos of different music. And when I tell y'all that it definitely is true, because there are a lot of suburban kids who try to play out this, they want to be how this rapper was. I watched this video. If y'all know who Lil Boosie is, Lil Boosie, his son was on Twitch with T.I.'s son, all on Twitch. And they were talking about struggle meals. I had seen a video. They were talking about struggle meals. And I was sitting there thinking, like, how are they sitting here talking about, literally watching the, video, have it on Twitch. I was thinking to myself, how you have struggle meals when obviously both of their parents, grew up, and moved them out of, not even moved them out. They grew up in a suburban gated community, big houses. So when you have stuff like that, and then people are trying so hard to play this hood, like just because of what you see on the internet or because your parents came from it, don't mean, and I feel like that is a big problem here, bro. It is a huge problem. I see it all the time. There's little kids out here, and I don't live in no gated community or anything like that, but out here it's not the hood where I live at. It's not the hood whatsoever. And they try to make it out to be, bro. They definitely try to make it out to be the way they talk, the way that, how they carry themselves, and this is not, I'm not just talking about just black people, bro. I'm not just talking about black people. It's and mostly black people though. I definitely say that. But when I see them, it's just like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like I don't, and I obviously don't know, everybody's, but you can definitely tell that a lot of them have, great parents. It's just what they listen. They want to play this part, just like Jasmine Crockett. It's like Jasmine Crockett. Now that I think about it, she's one, that does that. That I'm telling y'all, bro. Jasmine Crockett just popped up in my head. I'm supposed to do a video on her today.
I've been seeing this all my life. I've been seeing young black kids in particular fantasize about being rappers, fantasize about being from the ghetto, fantasize about living a boys in the hood life, and while living a very suburban Heathcliff Huxtable life. There's a culture that's being promoted and that is pervasive, that is influencing young people, both black and white. And some of the people I've talked to, is like they're concerned about their kids being influenced by this same culture and running around with kids that are influenced by this same culture, and their kids getting in trouble. And look, this is prevalent. Drugs and kids experimenting with drugs when they're in high school, and alcohol and all that's been going on for years and years and years. But there used to kind of be a stigma attached to that. Now all the stigma has been removed, and the kids using Percocet at parties and doing sexually explicit things, that's all the popular thing to do now. And so this community is struggling.
And the crazy thing is that I didn't think when I was growing up it wasn't that bad. It was that bad. Y'all didn't think I'm 27. I graduated at 16. I graduated at 16. So around like my middle school, high school, that's when I started seeing, the different type of stuff. Obviously, that's when Not necessarily, I ain't gonna say doing, but like you see a lot of that, different stuff or whatever. But at the same time, like I feel like today, I always, I be, I scroll through TikTok or look at YouTube and stuff, and I'll see little kids doing things that you'll usually see a 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old do, even 16-year-old. And you see like 8-year-olds or 7-year-olds. I was just watching this, and nothing crazy. It's been, crazy things. I ain't going to say that. But what I'm talking about, I watched a video of, it was some kids playing basketball for a league. It was AU or something. And it was the way that they was carrying themselves. Like they was grown. But still had trouble, reading a book, Dr. Seuss book, or counting, knowing your colors and know, struggling with stuff like that, mixing the colors and stuff. But when it comes to, what they see, they wanna play this part. They wanna move fast. Let me tell y'all something, bro. I feel like growing up, I definitely felt like I was trying to move too fast. 17, I had my own apartment. So I definitely felt like I was moving way too fast, and I wish I would have slowed down a little bit. I'm glad to be where I'm at today, but I wish I would have slowed down a little bit. I feel like I still have a lot of work to do, and I feel like we all do. I feel like it's just something that never stops, but I do feel as now it ain't got so worse that there's young kids that, and the bad thing about it is that these young kids look up to these older teenagers, and the older teenagers want to play that part to where they're like, so they seeing it's just, I'm telling y'all, it's different times.
With that, there is some sympathy for Karmelo Anthony's family, because people think, hey, these were actually good people trying to put their kids in a good environment and trying to do the right things, but their kids are involved in things and involved in a culture that is dragging them into the muck.
It's pretty crazy. Like I said, it definitely is. I can agree with him. When I heard him, when I seen that video of T.I. son, Boosie's son, I was going through it. I was like, bro, like, they talking about struggle meals. Like, literally, I think he said beanies and winnies, and he said some, the other ones, he said some noodles with something. Just trying too hard. Let me tell y'all something, bro. One thing about it is that it's up to a lot of certain people, people like myself. I trust and believe. Believe it or not, there is, if I look at my my analytics, it definitely went. It definitely took a different turn, of course. But when I tell y'all that I try to strive to put, when it comes to a percentage of young adults onto my channel, I try to, because between the age from 13 to 17, it's literally 0.4% for me. And I know that a lot of it, they probably think it's boring. They probably don't pay attention and stuff like that. I have between the age of 18 to 24, 4.7%. And I feel like that number definitely could change. And I feel like I strive to do that. Obviously to get it towards everybody, but I feel like it's definitely important to open a lot of these, a lot of these young adults, just open their eyes, a bit. I feel like it definitely is important. And you don't necessarily have to follow in the footsteps. You don't have to follow in the footsteps of no rapper or nobody that has a bad influence on. Because let me tell y'all something. What bothers me with these kids is that they'll. I had watched this video. I know I didn't want over time. I had watched this video. It was this teenager, 17 years old, and he was in the interrogation room with a detective. He had unalived somebody, of course, and he was basically yelling, saying, "He's 17. He's 17. You can't do this to me. I thought you was bringing me in here, and then I was going home. I'm only 17." Man, listen. one thing about it is that old saying, you do the crime, you gotta do the time, bro. I mean, regardless, forget that. Oh, I'm underage. You want to play that part. You want to act the fool. You want to, and a lot of these kids, I'm not even gonna lie, that I see, especially here in Indianapolis, is that a lot of these kids do come from amazing neighborhoods. Just like Jason Whitlock. I'm pretty sure Jason Whitlock is from Indiana. I'm pretty sure he went to Warren High School. That's obviously on the east side from me. But when I tell y'all, bro, that a lot of these kids that are committed, when I see, especially when I get on Instagram and stuff like that, like, I know who a lot of these kids are. And the way that, you know, they make themselves out to be is completely insane. I mean, it's completely insane. And then when they get in trouble about something, it's all, now I'm ready to be, you know, this good kid, this great kid. The same thing Karmelo's doing. Same thing Karmelo family is doing. You know, they brought up the whole thing with him saving a child. Don't get me wrong, that's amazing. I feel like that is an amazing thing. They brought up the fact that he was an AB honor roll student. They had a high GPA. They was a captain of a football team. But guess what? He wanted to play that part. He definitely was hanging around the wrong crowd, as y'all can see and, you know, hear from Jason Whitlock. And, you know, played that. And y'all seen old photos and everything of his home. They had multiple cars. Still do. You know, he had a car. I seen he worked Foot Locker, all that. All that's great. But one thing that he did was not only mess up, you know, his life, he messed up Austin Metcalf's life as well as his family. Karmelo messed up his family, his younger siblings. You know, these are things that a lot of these teens don't even think about. All they see is, oh, okay, I'm about to act a certain way because I'm this big, I'm this bad, you know. Come on now, bro. It's dead. I'm telling y'all, got to get it together. And that's why I feel like it's definitely important for a lot of young adults to actually pay attention to what's going on. I'm not going to necessarily even pay attention to me, but pay attention to what's going on. I'm telling y'all, serious out here. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe. I definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.